All right, I'm going to kind of get some stuff started. Um, hey, everybody, I'm just going to get everything started and laid out until everybody gets here. How are you doing? Um, I was totally taking a nap. I don't know what it is, but lately, I think it's a time change or something that it's like I need a nap. Maybe I'm just becoming old. I'm so becoming old. All right, so for this project today, and I'm going to repeat this a little bit later, and if I get back to it, I will, if I remember, I will come and put a link below to when we got started. Creating Essence in the house. Oh my goodness. I'm so thrilled that I got, listen, I just can't even begin enough about, what? What are you talking about? I'm pregnant. I'm not pregnant. I'm just lazy. Actually, I had my Fitbit going. Hey, Crystal with Connecting the Dots Academy's here. I have my Fitbit. I'll just show you. This is what my problem is. Well, number one, I've kind of got back on caffeine, and since I got back on caffeine, it's not nearly as... I was waking up way more like with gusto or gust or whatever, and going back on caffeine hasn't helped. Hasn't helped, but I'll show you. Listen. Man, that's my Fitbit. Do you see how much deep sleep I got? I got an hour of deep sleep. I got 4 hours of light sleep. I had somebody, and I had like an hour and 31 minutes that I was awake out of the 7 hours. So, just saying that's when I need a nap. No, I've been needing a nap. This whole last year, I've been needing naps here and there. But it's, this morning, actually, I spent my morning helping one of the ladies at church update her iPhone. And so she came over, and it had to do a full install. And then I'm like, let's go through your apps and what do you use and what do you not use? And so we did all that this morning. And I guess it just kind of left me like drained so much. But, and at the same time, my kids were like rock star homeschoolers at the same time. I'm like, how are you guys doing this? Just saying that's when I take naps. Crystal's in the house. And she's like, I don't even sew, but I'm here. All right, listen, we are doing a pillowcase, like these types of pillows. I don't even like this one. I like the smaller ones you can get from the store because they're a little bit thicker. And I can totally fold this down and make it a little bit more like puffy. And I might do that. I might do that. Pepper and Pines in the house. Zap TV says, hi Trish, I'm so sad, crying because I had to say goodbye to my husband who left for Texas. But you're going to be there. You're going to be there soon. You're going to be there soon. So it's okay. You're going to get there. You're going to get there. And I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. But like, look, see, I got like this big group growing back there. But girls, I'm like, I'm finding it's a little edgier, it's a little longer. And it's like sometimes I have to cut into, but there will be some shaving going on. But I haven't decided which side. I think I'm going to shave this side because this one lays flatter. And let that one so it all will do this like really funky thing. I think I'm going to let her add color in there. Bee ladies in the house. All right, so today we are doing a pillowcase. Let me see. Oh, look. I don't even need to do anything to this one. This is a Pier 1 pillow. I won't even lie. It came from my grandmother. My grandmother had it for years. And so it's an old pillow. And what's really cool is we're going to make this pillow pocket pillow. And it's so easy to do. You guys are just going to be like, you're going to be flabbergasted. It's going to be another one where you're like, no, it could not be that easy. So the first thing I'm going to do, though, I'm going to tell you, you know what pillows I like to get are the ones from Trying to cheer myself up by watching you. I'm glad you're here. I like to buy the pillows from IKEA. They're really cheap. The little pillows, the little accent pillows. And sometimes I've even gone and made just little pillows like this from old pillows, you know, like where they get kind of, so you can recycle pillows a lot. I almost found this one fabric I've never used. It's kind of sitting right there. And I almost went to use that one today, and then I realized it was a sheet. And I was going to be like, oh, cool, we can talk about recycling sheets. But then I really like the fabric, and I'm like, I'm going to pin that to my couch, because we had a hand me over couch, and it's this really neat system that my mom gave me that she had, that it's the couch and it folds out to a double bed. So it's like a futon, but not quite. And it's so convenient. But she had it for so long, and it just didn't see a lot of wear and tear. And then we got it, and it just literally began disintegrating at every seam. So I've been trying to work, and it's like the cushioning is gone. I'm debating on how much effort I want to put into it. But I like using the sheets on there, and I'm actually thinking about velcroing them in. I have one of these today, so this is right on time. Yay! I meant I have to make one of these later today. Okay, I'm not using really pretty fabric. I'm not gonna lie. I'm using this like green stuff. It looks very out of date. It's not even comfortable, but my thinking is that you're gonna be able to see it a lot better. That should be better. You're going to see it better. I'm going to sew it with red thread today too, because this is going to make it easier to see where my stitches are. But seriously, this is such an easy project. Okay, there's no real, how to put it, there's a lot of ways to really change this up and do some different things with it. There's really no wrong way to do it. The biggest thing is making sure, like with the pillow you have, that you're going to make sure you want to get, I'd say about 3 inches, depending on how thick the pillow is, about 3 inches past that when you buy fabric. And I always, when I make these, I just kind of measure out based upon, I don't know, I even forgot where I was going. I got sidetracked, sorry. So B Ladies telling Zap to hang in there. How about beginning a long letter about all the things you love? Oh, what about having this time to write actual letters? Because, you know, is that not the lost art? But mailing some actual letters, and just in being able to enjoy that kind of, and you can touch it and smell your letter, and I don't know, maybe that's just teen girl kind of stuff. As I'm watching, I'm making pillowcases for my boys. Yay! Instagram tag me in your creations that you make based off my videos. I don't know where Katie is. She's went to the library. She's caught up in a book. I don't know if I'll see her today. She got started on her schoolwork really early, and she was done and she was reading. So I want to show you, I just have my fabric folded up. Can you see that? All right, so I just have my fabric folded, and what I'm doing is I'm just kind of measuring, you know, and I need that space right here for my seam allowance. So I just probably am going to mark here. Now I am using a Taylor's chalk, and you'll see this. See that? Anyway, so it just makes the line on the fabric. So you see where I kind of marked it, and what I'm going to do, since I don't have my handy dandy kid, I'm going to move my pillow out of the way. And today I'm actually going to mark it and not use the rotor cutter. I like doing the rotor cutter, but I'm just not going to use the rotor cutter. All right, so oh, I don't have my mouse with me. Oh, let me see. All right, so Jennifer's totally going to tag me in her Instagram post when she's done. Hey, Trish, I'm sending off today a mom's homeschool Bible to you. I already have one and thought of you. You should get it sometime earlier next week. Yay! Thank you. That is so exciting. All right, I'm going to Instagram tag you next time I eat a donut. You should. Listen, I went to the library Tuesday, And I was like, oh, where's Meg? I really could use Meg here. And then I was getting like roped into starting a homeschool co-op class there. And I was just like, be careful, walk away. You can't do it all for everybody. Zap says, I guess I'll have to do it. It's actually a good idea. We have been together for more than 10 years and I'm so used to having him by my side. Oh, I can imagine. I would be nuts. Pepper and Pine says she's upcycling a white sheet to make pillowcases. They look terrible, but they are soft and have money because we buy a high thread count, but wear them down to threads, literally. And that's true. Like if you're buying really good sheets, it really makes a big difference. And I love good sheets. Trying to stay strong for my kiddo. I know we'll see each other soon. Right. It'll be good. Listen, my cowlicks are catching my eyes. Pepper and Pine, why do you think they look terrible? Can you jazz them up with a quick embroidery thread? True. Or even adding some stuff. Crystal says, you're welcome. It has a lot of good topics for those days. Yes. And I just got a book from one of my friends at church, and it was like When Strong Moms Are Weak, I think it is the book. I haven't started. I just got it last night. Creating Essence says, don't do it. Don't. I know not to do it. Huh. Oh, all right. So what I'm going to do is not cut. Listen, if I wasn't in my right mind, I'd take a pair of scissors right here, right now. But I'm not going to do that. But like, look at this. I could just cut this off. It's curling. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this. So I'm just kind of lining this up, trying to do this one-handed with a camera in the way. Let's see. Can I do it like this? Yeah. And then I'm just going, oh, wait, I got to get it straight. This is kind of hard one-handed. So I'm just using my chalk. See that? And I just made a blue line. Oh, can't believe my daughter bailed on me for her book. Pepper and Pine says, I don't know how to sew properly, plus my sewing machine is terrible, or I use it terribly. But the seams are all messed up. Some are too small. Is it, oh, are you not having a hard time sewing a straight line? That's because when you are sewing, Hannah, okay, so when you're sewing, and let me get a piece of fabric like this one, you're going to want to use this grid here as a guide. So this is the part that you would be sewing down on. I typically set my needles so I can use this side as my guide when I put it down. See what I mean? So I put it down. But in reality, can you see that? I'm trying to see how much better you can get in here. Not really. All right. These are notches. Oh, you can kind of see it. So see how there's like centimeters in there? You want to use that as your fabric guide. And then you're keeping, you got to keep your eye right here. So like the edge of your fabric, where your edge of your fabric is that's where you really want to do. If you need to, you could put painter's tape. You could totally put painter's tape there and it would work. Okay, I got to get my thing done. All right, my camera done, because did I tell you I was just a hot mess today? Hot mess. Wanted to take a nap, didn't take a nap. Don't know where my scissors are. Do you iron your fabric before you sew it? Listen, and you have to iron your stuff. Thank you, B lady, because that's the truth. You have to iron your stuff. Oh, good. Here's the scissors. So using scissors, and remember, like, I love these. I like to tag these afterwards about using these. And in the other videos, I actually tagged the fabric cutting kit. I like using the rotary scissors the best, but I'm going to use scissors this time for you guys, just because my ADHD is kicking in. There's my kombucha bottle from yesterday or last week, because I haven't been out here. I haven't had a chance to be out here, and it's just been kind of crazy. I'm going to get the camera. I'm feeling much better now. I'll ask my son to do it as well. And I know he needs to do it because he's always crying. Yes, yes. And you got FaceTime. Pepper and pine, haha. Yep. Trish sometimes irons and I often iron my seams down so they hold while I sew. And also use straight pins to hold it in place, removing before. And that's the other thing too is, you know, keeping your stuff ironed, but then also using the pins. The more experience you get, you don't have to pin everything. But when you're beginning and trying to do all of the motor skills to guide your fabric, to keep it together, I took the thing off, but that's kind of a glare, isn't it? You know, is a lot to do. So it does take some practice. Okay, so I'm gonna move you onto here. I feel like all I'm doing is moving you around today. This may or may not work. Look, there's the screen. Oh, I thought it was good. It was just, I was like, we'll get some light in here. This will be fantastic. I look like I'm in a jail cell, but I'm not. Give you a picture of all my books. See, I use red. Put that back up. Put that back up. That should be a lot better. Much better, isn't it? All right. I think the tension is off on my machine, so the thread bunches up in places and it looks ready. So you probably are. I typically have my tension set at, can you see that? 5. But you know, Hannah, what we need to do is do, you and I could do a meetup and we'll try and do this, you know, across the country sewing machine repair fix thing. Wouldn't that be cool? That's what we need to do. Yes, ironing is important. I went ahead and I ironed this fabric. This fabric's been sitting for a while. So I ironed it out. And what I'm going to do is just show you how I'm going to cut this fabric. So there's my, well, maybe show you how I cut this fabric. So here is my line here. And what I'm going to do to help keep it so it doesn't move. I wish I had my daughter here. Why'd she sell me out for a book? All right, and then all I'll need to do is cut through that. So that's about the extent you're going to get. Now you got to watch me do it. That's just how it is. But I'm just cutting just to show you that you don't always need to have a rotary cutter. It's nice. They're very, very convenient. Oh, I didn't cut the bottom. Get this cut. Yeah, so I mean, I was able to cut a nice straight line. If it was left up to me, I wouldn't be able to do it. It just is really impossible to get a straight line on my own. So it does help to have a, I know I'm moving you back to the TV. I'm sorry I keep moving you so much. It does really help having a chalk in that straight line. So when you do it, you can just follow the straight line. I've even seen where they use this chalk to draw the patterns onto fabric and then cut it. So it's just kind of cutting on the lines, and it works out really good. Zap says, yeah, it looks like a jail cell. As soon as I buy a new sewing machine, you know that I'm going to be sewing with you. You better be. Zap TV, you would be surprised what you can do on an old basic sewing machine. Right. And she learned to sew on a treadle machine from 7th grade. Isn't that cool? Oh, come on. I didn't really have lunch yet today. I kind of just got too tired. But I will. All right, so here's the deal. I just cut this the width of my pillow, and I will show you. I'm putting my pillow to one edge, and so I cut, what, about a hand? But now remember, it's not a super fluffy pillow, so that's okay. All right, so I did that, and now the very first thing I need to do is I need to check wrapping my pillow. So I know, listen, the library was like, oh, you teach sewing. Can you come here and teach sewing? I'm like, no, no, that's not going to happen. I'm going to do it inside out. So, because I'm actually going to pin. And now I have this folded line and I'm going to place the pillow kind of centered on that line. So there's the line. See, there's a line. Kind of center it. And then I'm going to wrap the pillow. Don't flip out. I'm just wrapping the pillow because I'm getting a sense of like how much fabric I have. And this is like the perfect size. So see how much overlap I have. I have to here to here. This is really a good size. When we do the pocket, we don't want the pocket too close together because it might gape. And we don't want it too far because it'll make it really hard to get the pillow in and out. Zap says, I had to sell mine, but as soon as I move in, I want to buy so badly a sewing machine, at least to continue learning because I'm still a beginner. And like my brothers, I love my brothers SE, totally a great beginners that can stand a long time with you. But even just getting the basic, like Katie has a basic Singer, and that one's fantastic too. All right, so here's the trick. So we know it's going to fit. You're going to do 2 foldovers. So coming in here, I'm going to fold it to the wrong side. And just like 1/2 inch is good. So I'm going to do that on both ends and iron it. And I have my iron right here. I know I'm waiting for Carrie to get in, but because she's the one who requested this video or this tutorial. But she had a meeting to go to, so she's like, I'll be in there late. All right, I gotta get my iron hot. And I'm probably not going to use this fabric on my pillow, but I'm just making it because I can make it. And I have like 3 of these pillows that I just don't really, the green and the gold are kind of out of date from Pier 1 kind of deal. All right. So then see, I got to fold this other end down about 1/2 inch. All right. So just say I did that. Now what I want to do is I want to fold like a better cuff. So I'm going to fold about 1 inch or 2. And remember, this is kind of gauging based upon how the pillow fell. So, and all that really is going to be is another fold. So I'm folding, I kind of like the bigger flaps. Now I've done this in the past where all I did was folded it and I never stitched this shut. And it looked great until after a few washings, and then it was like, oh, I really should have stitched that shut. I love that fabric. It looks turquoise in the video. It's not. It's an ugly, ugly 1989 green. When the green, I mean, this reminds me of some wallpaper I've had in a home I lived in. I wish it was turquoise. It would be beautiful. I have a simple machine, but I noticed the sergers are not as expensive as I thought. Should I upgrade? Now, sergers do different things. So I would use a serger just for closing up seams and doing sewing knits. But you still need a straight stitcher, not a serger. So having 2 is good. We made an envelope pillowcase at Sewing Club Tuesday. I know, I seen that. I was so excited that you had done that. All right, so I'm just going to fold over this next. So I did 1 fold, another fold down. And so the first thing I'm going to do, this will be like my inside fold. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch along the fold just to keep it shut. I'll put 1 pin in there for safety sakes. Next time we're doing pajama bottoms. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I put my pin in backwards. Crazy. I just want to make sure that when I'm sewing this, Now remember, because we have this other fold in here, can you see that other fold? I want to make sure when I sew it, it's going to catch that fold. You know, it's not going to be over here past the fold part. I want this part tucked in. Yeah, Hannah, we might need to do like a one-on-one. Let's see what you got. I'll tell you what you should be buying. All right. So just really easy. You could do it as a top stitch. Remember, your top stitch is you're sewing your thread length stitch is going to be a little bit longer. Mighty 2 and Tiny 2 have made it. Okay. And just a real quick stitch. I'm not color coordinated so that you guys can see. Trish, if you had cut the inside seam with pinking shears, do you think it would have unraveled after a few washings? I will tell you that. I'll show you at the end, but what was happening was I didn't have this pinned down, so this was actually opening up. It wasn't really unraveling. It was just my fold was undone. So what I'm going to do is I need to sew my bottom, my first fold on the other side still, and then I'm going to show you how I size up my next cuff. Oh, that's hot. I just kind of stuck my finger where it didn't belong on the iron. That's not good. And I'm not even ironing this straight. I probably should be standing up. All right, so I'll tell you, I have a girlfriend that likes to travel, and I was telling her about how y'all were like, come on to California, and she's going to California in June, and she's like, you've got to come, and I'm like, I still don't know if I can get away. She's like, come on, come. All right, so I've got, hopefully you can see that. I can't see the comments, but you can see that. And what it is my projects haven't left my table, and you know, the ADHD in me does not pick up. So I'm just kind of centering this. Again, I've got it on that center fold right there. And then I fold this over, and I like where it sits. So this is sitting. This is going to be my outside pocket part. And then I'm going to come over here. Oh, it's really kind of close. It's closer than I like it to be. But if I make it a little bit tighter, like this, you know, like I'm pulling it tighter, it's not going to be a problem. So I'm actually not going to even fold this another cuff. I'm just going to stitch this shut so it doesn't unfold on me. All right. You made me laugh. Now I'm imagining what you said about the wallpaper. Yeah, it was bad. It's that one. Cutting with shears was difficult. It takes practice because you really want, when you're cutting with shears, you really want to be cutting that. Here's a trick. Here's just a trick nobody thinks about to talk about. When you're cutting, you really want your bottom to be on the table, and then you're cutting. So you're not really ever lifting this. If you lift the fabric up to cut, the layers and the pattern you're going to, they're shifting and moving. So you just want to cut with your bottom. Let me do it this way. With your bottom on the table. And that's how you really cut with shears really well. I know you imagine being in a room with the print. I'm in California. Please visit. I know. For a quick sharpening of shears, I cut the roughest sandpaper a few times. You don't use, sometimes I use foil. I cut foil up to sharpen them. All right, so I'm just going to take this one. I'm going to leave it as is. It's fine. It's long enough. I don't need to cut it. And I'm just going to stitch. I know you can't even see. And I'm just going to stitch this shut so I don't have any unfoldings. You'll notice I'm not back stitching. I'm not being like crazy back stitching because it's going to get gobbled up in another sewing thing. So, you know, it's fine. Okay. So inside out. I'm going to iron my center seam out a little bit more. A little bit more. And when you get used to making this pillow pocket, you can do a lot of designs in here. Like I could cut this apart and add new stuff in here and it'd be great. Okay. So I'm actually going to make this really tight so that my pillow's a little puffier. So I take my one that I folded twice and fold that out because that's going to be the outside of our pillow. And then I'm bringing this in. So see, I'm now making kind of a puffier pillow because I'm bringing it in. And I like to make sure that my two cuffs have about at least an inch past each other. So I'm going to bring this in, bring it here. And now I know this is where I want it. So I'm just matching my edges together. And I'm going to pin it. And I'm doing this so that I can get, I can take the pillow out. I don't want the pillow in there. All right, so then I can pull the pillow out the side. I only pinned this one edge. All right. Let's see. I wish I had a camera crew. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this outside edge here, this inside one, and I want to make sure I find like the center again, or make sure like when I'm lining it up, when you fold, there's my center. I hope that makes sense. Well, I learned something new today. Did not know about foil sharpening scissors. Yeah, and if you're a paper crafter with punches, using the punches with your scissor with foil sharpens them too. So I feel so constricted. Ooh, don't drop my soda. As I've soda 3 whole weeks, I'm right back on it because that's what I do. All right, so let me give you a better view down here. Hopefully that will stay. All right, so there's my center. I'm just getting it lined up here because now I'm going to pin these together. Okay, and then that gives me my one edge. So then I need to come over on the other side and make sure everything's straight. Okay, okay, okay. For some, there we go. Now it's, ouch. I just pinned myself with these pins. All right, here we go. And I'm pinning this together too. I'm going to hit this with an iron just so that my crease over here is nice because I kind of like mine nice and tart. And the other part too is I'm going to put a pin in the middle because I don't want to have any pulling where this pulls apart like this. Wow, Trish, this is neat. Watching while kids are finishing up their work. And then we're off to do errands and mail you some stuff. And I have the worst. I am the worst about mailing. So I'm usually pretty proud of myself whenever I have a giveaway and I've mailed it. I have a box for my sister. She had the like most precious baby. And I haven't mailed it. I have not mailed it. All right. This is a no-no, but remember I got a new mat, so I don't care. I don't care. I'm just going to iron that. Aaron, I seen that they were ironing on top of the table and I cringed. Like you didn't have, put a towel down. This was a no-no I just did. Put a towel down. And I did it because I don't care. Remember, I got a new one. Because what made me nervous is ironing like that will release the enamel, the laminate off the table and from the heat. So you don't really want to do that kind of deal. All right, maybe my girl is coming. All right, so there's my other one. I'm just going to pin.
Yes, I did come.
You, what have you been eating?
I might have gone into the freezer and started snacking on the blueberries.
You need to go brush your teeth. You need to go look at yourself before you come out of the house. Teenagers.
Why is my face all blue?
You need to go look. Girl's crazy. I know. I got like my first full credit card bill. Walmart is killing me with just shopping the the gluten-free is just kind of wearing me down. But I mean, it's good, but at the same time, it's like, okay, so now I got to come up with a better meal plan. And it's nice that she's had enough time being gluten-free that she gets, like, she doesn't, ow, ow, I got my hand. Do you see that? She doesn't want to eat it at all. So now I can go back to, like, kind of making what they used to eat before the rest of the family that's affordable, and letting her be the only one that eats the crazy stuff. So that's a good thing. All right, and I'm just pinning this shut. I don't think I really did a really good number getting the fabric straight, but it won't even matter because it's a throw pillow. That one this one right here, this pin, feels like it's something I used to get glue out. It's so, like, rough. It shouldn't be that rough. All right, one more pin. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch the sides. I'm going to use a nice long seam, a big seam allowance, probably about 5/8, a full 5/8 here. And I want to make sure I'm catching everything. I'm going to double stitch. I'm going to go back and forth here, and I'm going to come back and forth here where it overlaps, you know, where I have the pocket ends at. And hopefully you can see. Can you see the red? Can you see that red stitch on it? Hopefully you can see that. All right, so I know I'm feeling rough today. You ever have them days where you're just like, eh. Oh, that's crazy. I'm doing Christmas shopping today online, Walmart and Mark's warehouse. I can't wait for my sewing machine. Hopefully soon, right? And I like having my machine out here. It's nice because I feel like I am getting, actually coming and sewing with you once a week, I feel like I'm getting way more sewing done than I have been. Now we just need a scrapbook time so I can get my stuff scrapbooked. But I do digital scrapbooking, but even just setting the time out to do that has been like, it's been hard. All right, so I'm going to do 5/8. I'm going to go back and forth here. And again, I'm doing a really thick stitch. Then I'm going to go back and forth when I cross over my flaps. And that's just so that it has the ability to stay strong through time, which I'm not going to even use this one, but for demonstration sakes. Hannah, do you scrapbook? I mean, I know you scrapbook, but do you scrapbook digitally? Because I ran into, I guess with just how life is, I bought all the stuff for Project Life, but then I don't get my photos printed. And then I do digital scrapbooking too. Something about like putting it all together into a Project Life. I've been so consumed with videos, I have no time for scrapbooking. I miss it terribly, but I'm getting my craft on in other ways. Well, with all your peg dolls, for sure. All right. So see, I just came in here and I see how it's darker here. That's where I did reverse. I forgot to do it there. When you forget, you can just go back over it and do it again. Just do it again. I think she's coming back. Yes, I love scrapbooking. Do it with the kids and our family and myself. I'm glad you have a hobby you're into. It's good for you. Paper all the way for Pepper and Pine. I don't have the space. If the day comes that I can have the space, we would probably be on something. But then I tend to drag everything, or even when I go to my mom's shop, I'll take everything with me, and then I just spend the whole time organizing it, and then I'm just frustrated. And then my mom was telling me, I didn't know this, you can actually run your Cricut off your cell phone, off your Apple phone. I don't know if another one, but definitely off your Apple phone. Crystal is a regular and digital scrapbooker. All right, I got to go hit reverse. I'm going to show you another technique too. That to kind of dress them up and make them look a bit more professional. I know I'm like this. Hey, get on my. All right. So I'm going to show you, and this is going to be the crazy part. So we did what? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stitches, 4 straight lines. We need to do a Project Life collab for homeschoolers, like a homeschool scrapbooking video series so we can document our year. I started using Project Life for that. I don't know. I feel bad, but collabs are kind of scaring me right now. I guess it's because I've just been so hit and miss. All right, so I took this stitch out. Now with the pocket, I'm going to pull it inside out. Okay, and make sure you get your corners in. Make sure. But it would be fun. I was doing that a long time ago with digital scrapbooking. I should find those. And then I lose my files. I'm just a hot mess. All right, so the first thing I did was pull my corners out like this, and then just tucking the whole 9 yards. Not the most prettiest. Hey, and if you're here, give me a thumbs up, please. All right. So here is the pocket, just like that. And then it helped you iron it out. And then what's nice, let me do this in. What's nice is you put your pillow in the one pocket, in the first flap, and then you put it in the second flap. And then all you have to do is just tuck it. And then there's your pillow pocket. So it's that easy. Does that not look, I mean, seriously, does that not look, it does look better than what it was. I won't lie. It does look absolutely better. And then the back looks like this. If you wanted to, you could put a button here. But see, there's enough overlap that you don't really see. So when I told you I didn't sew it the one time, what it was I didn't sew this shut here. So then this began to unfold. It wasn't a big deal, but it was kind of like, oh, I should have done that. Crystal says, my husband wants me to learn to sew to make camping gear, and I would like to be able to sew swim dresses and skirts. I've never touched a sewing machine. It's so intimidating. It's not. It's just like hot gluing, except you use thread. All right, so the really cool part is you could do some kind of decorative pieces. You can actually make this larger than your pillow, and we can come back in and stitch this. So what I'm going to do now, just to kind of give you a demonstration of what that looks like, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to sew. I'm going to iron it out, and I'm going to sew like a little inseam all the way around it. I know, I wish Carrie made it. Carrie, I miss you when you come back and watch this. But this is really neat. So this is really easy. Ha ha ha, just like hot glue. But with thread, it's just thread. It's like nails and screws. I swear quilting's like woodworking. It should not be intimidating, except I hate cutting things perfectly. I had another thought to tell you, but I can't remember what it was. Cannot remember. So I'm just going to make sure I get this really ironed out. See, I got to put my... Oh, I was going to tell you. So what's really cool by making these pocket pillows, you can make them for every season, for whenever you want to change them out. I mean, you could do appliques on them before you do them. I mean, it's so simple to do so many different things. It's just taking the time to do it. Right? Doesn't that come out really nice? So the bee lady says, wow, that turned out really nice. So I thought it would be nice if I should clean my face out. Hey, Katie. Your face was blue, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Look what I made. That turned out nice.
Yeah.
But I can't find the pokey thing. The wood pokey thing that I guess I can use scissors. Be careful if you use scissors because you could totally poke a hole. So I'm going to use more of the blunt side. So see, like again, the bottom side here is blunt. The top side is pointy. I'm going to use the blunt side. I do daycare. I fold a towel to the size I want that measurement to make a pillow, just like that. Then I put towels inside it because I need a pillow for toddlers, and sometimes that's washable. Oh, that is smart. Sorry, it took me a little bit to figure out what to read. My reading was, or you can even do it like this. Keep them shut. Keep them shut. All right, so I'm just poking, because I'm going to sew it to give it a more finished look. I'm just making sure my corners, because this is my only chance to do it once I sew it. Well, I was watching another YouTuber, and they're going through about making like pillows out of old blankets, and that's always a smart idea, and using towels and stuff. So I'm going to iron this out nice and flat. So you guys want to hear what I weighed when I went to Weight Watchers? Huh. All right, so I went to Weight Watchers. It was kind of like out of the blue, but I kind of like needed, I was going to do a whole video on this. I might still get a whole video done. But I just kind of needed to be able to go somewhere and somebody pour into me. Does that make sense? And instead of like me trying to figure it out and doing the way, and so I decided I would do the meetings, because I went up 25 plus pounds. It's so sad. I got to go tonight. You got to go? Oh, is it night? Where you at? Oh, you're going to Weight Watchers tonight. That's what you're saying. So I went because, you know, I've really been struggling, and I like flex points because I know flex points in my head. I can work it out. It's like not a big deal. I can just figure it out. But it lets you have all the sugar you want, which is not good. You don't want to eat a bunch of sugar. And, you know, all fat is bad, and I know that's wrong, so I knew that didn't work, but I had a hard time grasping the whole smart points. And I'm going to tell you why I had a hard time grasping and staying on smart points. Smart points lets you, has too many points. I know that probably sounds like a crazy excuse. All right. See, I just, see how it looks really more squared off? Now I'm going to go and I'm going to actually pin this. And I'm going to pin this, even though, and I'm pinning this just so it holds my creases and it doesn't move. They were talking about some kind of new thing coming up, and I don't know the details yet. I love it. I love it. Actually, the new thing is what made me decide to go back. So before, like, I would have 30-something points, and I'm going to be honest, just the old Weight Watcher in me, 20, 18, 25 was my number. See, look, it's still sticking out there. And look, that one was the number. And then, like, the new program, or the Smart Points program, you'd have, like, 30 points. And that was just too much for me to keep track of. Like, she's sitting here, so I was missing her. Now I'm all like, who her? I don't know who her is. She's all up in, did you finish your book?
Yeah.
That's why she's here, folks. She finished the book.
The big book, this thick, and I started on page 10.
This morning. She got her schoolwork all done. You got your schoolwork done, didn't you?
Yeah, just except for
except for the spelling test I got to give her. Anyways, so, but I had a hard time picking this is that one with that glue on it. I can feel it when I try to pin it. I had a hard time dealing with the protein part because the proteins have more points, but then in reality, the points, you know, balancing that with 30, it was just so hard for my brain to, like, get, if that makes sense. So then they changed it that you don't have to count, track, or measure chicken breast, eggs, beans, vegetables, fruit, including corn, and something else. Some other stuff. I can't remember everything. No fat yogurt. What else? Fish, shellfish, kind of deal. And it was just kind of like, ooh, that's kind of nice, because then it kind of gives me a sense of, like, here's places I'm going to safely eat without feeling penalized. And then on top of it, they took like a third of your points away. Right? But I'm going to tell you, it's not bad. I mean, I'm back to it. I'm excited to be, I don't know, I'm excited because I signed up, but I'm back to it. So I'm committing to 6 months. All right, so you can't see them, but there's my little pins. That's just to hold my corners. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch kind of a channel here. And when I do that, when I come to a corner, I'm going to kind of eyeball guess it and then pivot and turn around. I'm not going to go off the edge. I'm going to pivot kind of deal. And I'm going to make sure that my stitch is a little bit wider. I'm going to get it in. And I might take the pins out as I go. I might not. I haven't decided. And it's really going to come out nice what it does. And I'm doing this at a 5/8. 5/8. Take my shoe off to sew. All right. Okay. It's really thick right there because I started right where it's coming at the end. All right. All right, I'm kind of guessing, and then if you see, I'm pivoting right there. Ooh, I did good. It's right there at the 5/8 mark. And see, I'll show you. My stitch is a little wider, so it's more of a top stitch. Because the longer your stitch is, it's more of a top stitch. You want to go. I had somebody I was teaching how to sew drop by to say hi. I have to go pay a bill and do Christmas shopping. Have fun Christmas shopping. That was Tracy Woodman. Bam. All right, so what I find, like, and that's good to know, like the tip of my foot is about 5/8, so that's how I can kind of guesstimate it. And you got like a little wiggle room that nobody's gonna notice. Nobody's actually gonna pay attention. They're not gonna be like, those inseams are not as far apart as they should be. Nobody's gonna pay attention. Nobody's gonna pay attention.
Except the kids. Except
ooh,
when
ooh. Be careful. Look, I was catching this. Hold on, Katie. I was catching this here, so it was about to not lay flat, and that would have been bad. All right, making sure it's laying flat. Sorry, except for the kid that's learning. Who's calling me?
Then they would be the ones saying, "Didn't you do this like you said I was supposed to?"
That would be her. That would be her.
No, that would be like Bubba or Lottie, not me. No.
That would be you.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. That would be her. She made a tent the other day.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I went too far. Darn it. Darn it. Oh, well. Nobody's going to notice anyway. All right. I should have done two so I can be like before and after. And this is optional. You don't have to do this. This is just something to show you like, ooh, I can jazz that up. Okay, so I'll show you, I'll give you an up close showing on this. Stephanie G. Yeah, you made it. Okay, so you'll have to go back and rewatch. We got it. So here is the final stitch, and let me show you how far apart. You can kind of get a sense of, come on, focus. See how far apart? It's a bigger stitch, and that gives it a nicer look. Now, when I put the pillow in this time, it's going to change the look of it. So again, just like before, I'm going to put it in through the pocket, and then I'll pull the other pocket out. And it's also going to make it a little smaller. And making it a little smaller is going to look fluffier. But again, you know, just an easy, really an easy project to do. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's kind of tugging and pulling. Tugging and pulling. Trish, we are done school for the day and now heading off to do post office stuff and shopping. Talk to you later. Let me know if you got your package. next week or sooner. Will do. And I'll go through it. I'll open it up on live. But now look, so see how that changed the look? See how it has very pointed tips? And all I did different was actually just stitch that inseam. So, and then it made it, you know, it made it a little smaller. So now it's like scrunched in there even more. But see how nice that turned out? But I'm going to tell you, because of the way that the fluff is, this is actually puffing out a little bit more than I'd like. So I could, like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can work to move some of the batting around, because it is a wore out pillow. It is old. It's probably 10 years old. But I'm going to work it a little bit and see if I can move enough of that pillowcase fluff in there, and see it automatically, see, I've just moved it around and see it's not gappy near as much. Yeah, just like the pillows in Walmart. Exactly. And I mean, just super, super simple to do. That was 4 stitches and then one all the way around. And if you can figure out, this is where that center line is right here. If you can, all you have to do on that center line is find your center line and then find your center, and you can embroider things here. You can put appliques on there, just super, super, super easy. But what do you guys, I mean, I know you guys are like, what? And if you wanted to, you could do tassels when you were sewing it. But like when I kept telling you, like doing these pillow pockets are so easy. This is what I meant. They are so easy. There's like nothing to them to do. And it gives you a really nice product. And here's the thing, you got old pillowcases, you can cut your pillowcases apart. If you have old sheets that you want to like turn into something else like the super soft, you can do this. And it's an easy way to personalize on the kind of cheap. And that's the thing too, is use sheets. Go to Goodwill. I mean, I say Goodwill, go to the thrift store and buy some good sheets that you like, and you can turn that into your one fitted sheet can turn into your accent piece. But it's easy as that. So Zap says she loves it. Steph says she loves it. Zap says she needs to make some. You need to make some when you get here in Texas. In Texas, kind of deal. All right, that's it. That's all I got. And I don't really want to clean my sewing room up. Look, it's like a puppet. And see, it is nice. And this is why I want that extra overlap, because see how far it goes in. But if it goes in any farther, it's really hard to get it in the pillow in the pillowcase. Yeah, I don't really like this fabric, but I'll probably use it because it did turn out. Does it? What do you think?
Yeah, it did.
Is it better than the old one? It was that green one. I threw it over there.
The green.
It's on the floor over there. I threw it. Just don't send my sewing machine off.
That one? Yeah, that's a lot better like that.
I will have to get to this after all the PJs I'm making this year. So much on the one to do. Well, my thought too was like having like, wait till I show you my stockings, my Christmas stockings. We've got to get Christmas stuff out. I made those I actually made them 3 years ago, because I made all 7 of them before Christmas, and after Christmas I did the last one for Leona because she was coming in March, so I had them all done. Look, it's still sticking out. And I mean, I know it's just like that part of the whole screen, but I can catch it. I'm just like, what is that piece doing? And then this piece right here. But I got like a really cute look. I think I'm going to, I don't know, but I don't know if it's long enough, but it's going to be one of those grow into looks. Oh, so I was going to tell you, I have to do a Weight Watchers one, but I went to weigh in, and I don't feel, did you see the picture I posted on Instagram? Did you see that one? I know this is just the part where we just like talk and do nothing else. Jennifer says, I love it. Have an old pillow I was going to throw away, but now I'm going to make into an accent pillow. And that's the other thing too, is like as that, because it's not real cotton, it's just, it's polyfill. It's like plastic. I don't like it. But they get smaller. They get denser, you know, with time. So it just happens that when you make these, you just make them a little smaller. Now, if you have a really delicate fabric and it's not really, this one's really strong, so it's going to hold up. But if you have one that's really a delicate fabric that can't take the pressure of maintaining the shape you want it, then you're going to want to make kind of a basic pocket pillow to begin with something really sturdy so you can shove it into, and then you could shove it into another one. And I could do that with this one. I could really pull this thing tight and get it to be that kind of really thick pillow and make a smaller one, and then go ahead and make a pocket pillow case for that one. Stephanie says, I finally got a good machine, so now I'm crazy sewing, overwhelming myself. That is awesome. And you know, one of my things is I've got to get to sewing just to get rid of all my fabric stash. I got so much fabric, it's not crazy. And I haven't finished my pillowcases. I just kind of have them on the floor, and I need to get to that. So what do you guys think I should do next week? Because I've had nobody come to me and send me any Pinterest posts that they want me to make. I had an idea. I can't remember what it was, though. Something practical, useful, and simple. So what is it that you guys want to make?
The coasters?
Oh, the coasters are easy. We could do a 2-for-1.
Let's do it.
All right, give me some fabric. I'm going to show you how to make a quick coaster because that would be fun. Maybe I'll come back and edit the video and turn it into its own video. So there's the pillow. I just need
camo.
Oh, we'll do pink camo. Okay.
And here's polka dots.
But wait.
That's
18 by 22. This is enough to make
full set.
No, this is enough to make hair scrunchies. Do you really want to do that with this? You should make hair scrunchies out of that.
Okay. Well, I got polka dots. What would do good with polka dots?
Hold on. Heidi, so it got held for spam, and at first I thought you're like, I'm done with Weight Watchers and THM and with you. With you, I was so inspired by your Wellness Wednesdays. Love you're doing Weight Watchers again. You should be a spokesperson. But then I'd have to be so, I don't know. You know, I like the idea. That would be really cool because I go to the classes and I'm like, I could teach myself. But then I feel like I wouldn't be as objectionable. You know what I mean? I would not be. Zap TV says aprons. Oh, I can do some aprons. I can do a lot of really cute aprons. I can do some upcycle aprons. I got quite a bit. Steph says I got quite a bit of fabric from Joanne Sales, and I'm going to make a beautiful weighted blanket. Ooh, yes. Weighted blankets are so good. All right, apron. Well, you know, and I totally get with you because I'm like done with keto, low carb, and you know, I've done Weight Watchers so successfully in the past. And I mean, as I'm getting older, I'm realizing my body's not behaving as the same. And then getting into that low carb, it really put me on some vicious cycles that I was not comfortable. And so did THM each time. And I was doing good. And I mean, I just overwhelmed myself. And I just never got it together.
Mom, I found these ones, but they're all pretty big.
Ooh, find me a blue fabric.
Like blue stripes?
Yeah, we can do blue stripes. Do we have another fabric?
Well, we do have. Let's see.
All right. The bee lady, she's got to go. Totally enjoyed the stream, and we'll send you a picture of my finished pillow. Yes, send me a picture. Bring back Wellness Wednesday. I look forward to it every week. Heidi, I miss Tangy. It's hard to do like Mama Gets Fit without Tangy. And she's been so busy. Oh, that would be a good one. She's been so busy. And I mean, I know that's not an excuse, but it kind of is an excuse. Because it helped me stay on point too, because I'm just like, let's see, aprons. Jennifer and Zap are like, aprons, we need some serious aprons. I know, I was looking at some older ones. All right, This is my backhanded iron. Look, this is why I gotta go to Weight Watchers. I look good. Listen, you can't tell I'm 178 like this. Tell I'm like this.
How's this one to go with it? Then we'll have 4. Or should we stick?
No, let me stick with these 3. So I'm just sticking with 3 fabrics, and you're gonna see I'm using scraps. This is like the easiest.
It makes that pillowcase look like a master.
Well, this is super simple to do. And you just need 3 fabrics, and you need I gotta get my cords out of the way because that would be smart. You're just going to need to make have 3 fabrics, and you're going to make 4 by 4 inches by 4 inches. You're going to make 2 4-inch by 4-inch squares out of each fabric. So I'm just kind of lining them up like this. I'm trying to get a good contrast going, and then I got this blue. I don't know. I think I'm going to use the blue as the background. I thought I was going to use the blue as the front piece, but I think
it looks like a picnic.
It does look like a picnic, and here's the sky. I'm going to put that at the bottom. Oh. I've been so mad at myself. I lost 30 pounds last year and gained 25 back, feeling defeated. Girl, I know. I lost 40 last year and put 25 back on. And just got in, I mean, seriously, vicious cycles. And, I mean, just a few weeks ago, I was 172. I put 6 pounds on in 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. It's just like crazy. Aprons with a phone pocket. It's so sweet. So the lady I helped today, she carries like this little pocket with a like little thing that's just kind of haphazardly sewn there with a phone in it because it doesn't fit in her pocket. She's really short, and so her pockets just put the phone in a weird place. But it was kind of cute. I was like, oh, but yeah, I'm with you. I like pockets too. All right, so see, I just layered all 3 of my fabrics up. Shouldn't move them because they're huge and they're all up on my lap. I'm really holding out for Carrie. Carrie, if you can get here, I would love to see you. Or you see me and me hear from you. Okay. So I'm doing, actually, I'm going to do this 6 by 6 inches because I'm going to make this a mug rug. Not a coaster, a mug rug. Let me buy it. Wait, and let me buy it. Oh, you want me to make a one with a phone and let you buy it? You're so funny. All right, I'm going to use my chalk again and just draw.
The blue chalk might not come up on the blue.
I think it will. All right, so I just need to make sure that I give myself 12 inches. Gotta find the 12-inch mark. All right. I'm gonna cut it at 13 just in case I need extra space. All right, so this is a mug rug, ladies, a mug rug. And I just outlined it. Really easy. Katie should be making these so she has plenty of things to enter in the fair entries. All right.
Listen, that fair is going to have a tent. That fair is going to have a bunch of things.
All right, so I'm cutting all 3 layers, and I'm cut a 13 by 6 inch so then I can have plenty to cut it to cut 2 6 inches, you know, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. All right. I know, I gotta concentrate a little bit. All right, so I need those scissors still. So see, I just cut a square out. Why'd you take my scissors away? Oh, she's taking my stuff.
I don't know, because it feels like it's in the way right there. I'll just move it.
Look, it's like a little bit big though. See that? But that's okay. All right, so I just draw in the line. Do it here. And maybe you might want to pin it together. Okay.
Yeah, that would sound like a smart idea.
For you novice, and again, I'm cutting. You see that? Like my scissors, I'm pushing my bottom of my scissors on the table for when I cut. And then it's really easy because I'm not picking up my scissors. So the only thing, I'm just lifting up a little bit of that fabric for the scissors. If you can see that. And that's all I did. So now I'm going to do this line here that I've got. Okay, so you need to have 2 of each, 3 different fabrics. You can do more, whatever. And then 2 squares of each. So if you're making a mug rug, maybe 6 inches. If you're making just a coaster, 4 inches. And then I am going to cheat and use
Felt for the bottom.
Yeah, I'm going to use felt. So you kind of need an insulator.
Yeah, didn't when we make it at 4-H we use the that's how you taught us interface. We put the interface.
We could. Have y'all done interfacing? Let's do interfacing. I've got some right here. Okay, so interfacing strengthens your fabric. You would buy like a couple, like a yard of it. It looks like this. Or you like me and you buy the whole bolt.
And the last row.
And see, look, this is what it looks like. You see that? It says Pelham. And it kind of gives you ironing instructions. See, there's instructions here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 squares out of this. And to do it easily, I'm just going to fold it in half and cut 1 square off the bolt, just like this. You don't want to iron this stuff. You iron this stuff and you can't use it. Nope. Not at all. Okay. Because there's a one side on it that has a sticky to it, or it has an adhesive. And it's better to make it a little bit smaller, but not a little bit bigger. Because when you make it a little bit smaller, the iron doesn't get this stuff on it, and neither does your thing. So just really kind of look. You see this? Just being really lazy. Oh my goodness, one of my videos got serious hate the other day. I have a hamburger video, like how we make hamburgers and freeze them. We haven't done it in a while. We'll do it every once in a while. And somebody told me how, because, you know, I always joke around being lazy. I'm a lazy crafter. I'm a lazy sewer. I'm just getting it all done. And this person got on there and was like, how would you feed yourself such horrible foods? I'm kind of like, so you tell me you don't ever eat a donut? Well, good for you. Don't judge us who do. And, you know, just kind of went on about how I need to have a clean house and how I have to have this and I have to have that. And I need to be self-sacrificing. And I'm just like, you know, I'm not really going for mortarhood. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need that. That's just craziness. I don't know. I'm kind of with you, though. We should totally do another Mama Gets Fit. Y'all need to go to Tangi and be like, you need to do Mama Gets Fit. Okay. So on this interfacing, one side's smooth and one side's rough. I want to put the rough side against the wrong side of the fabric. And you're going to see what happens. So see, it does this, and let me iron this one there. Walk on, people. I don't know how people have so much energy. Well, you know, I think that a lot of them are just like talking the talk, that are just like, this is what I would be in my perfect world, but I'm not. But I'm going to measure you to who I want to be, but not who I am. I think is a lot. And it's really easy to like throw stones at somebody when you're not putting yourself out there. So you don't want it to be too hot, but wait till you see what interfacing does. Look at that. I'm still looking at that. I'll be ironing like this in 6 months. We'll see how it looks. All right. Is that all on there? I think it's close. Okay. So now here's my piece. Here was my original piece. You see like the difference? It's like, this is so much stiffer. And I'm going to do it to this piece also, because it's really going to give that structure that it will feel like it holds up. If you wanted it to be cozy, you could get some really thin batting, or sometimes I'll use flannel to kind of give it some, like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, they probably don't have kids. That is true. And laugh out loud, kids make you face reality. Yeah, and if you think you haven't got enough reality, have a few more kids. And then you're like, oh, I did. You know, I thought I knew so much more when I only had 2 kids. I'm just not going to lie, it's 3. And then I had 4 and 5. And now I just gave up. I don't actually know anything. I'm just, you know, treading water. But I don't think they mind. All right, so I'm going to iron this one too. And my iron's too hot, so I actually put the piece underneath it, and I'm ironing it with it up. I don't want it, if it sticks out like this, that sticky stuff can get on my iron. But I could end up burning it because it's really sensitive to heat, so you'd want to put a piece over it anyways, and I just do it like this. Okay. I don't think. All right, so here's the trick. So I have my two big pieces. I'm going to actually now iron all of these in half, and I want to fold them in half. Wrong sides together and the right sides out. You get a 2 for 1 today. It's a 2 for 1. I love those sewing companies that do the live Facebook feeds. I'm like, I had 2. The third was a game changer for real. I have 2 teenage daughters with boyfriends. I feel like I'm not treading anymore. I'm sinking. Girl, let me throw you a lifeline and throw me one when I get there. Then you're not allowed to date.
I know that. Which is why
maybe when you're 16. If you're 16, you can maybe date.
Yeah, that's what you keep telling. That's what I keep
saying.
But it doesn't seem to work with all the silly, good, mushy books.
Oh, the mushy books. I know. Oh, Miss Kathy was telling me to tell you to start reading Agatha Christie because they're mysteries. I think I have an Agatha Christie here at the house. We're gonna have to get you set up. Mm-hmm. So let me see. The choice of batting comes to realize is it's really going to be like 4 thick. So we're going to be placing them actually kind of like this. And then can you see that? Let me show you this. Me and my belly. That's not a bad looking belly for 6 kids, I'll tell you that. All right, so you're going to piece it like this. I might actually. One of these, you're not actually going to see this side that's facing down right now. And then I'm going to put this piece here. I'm going to lay this piece on top. It does have this very kind of picnic feel. I'm going to lift this corner up and place it under here. And then I'm going to lift this corner up and place this piece here. This is a lot of what it's going to look like. Wait a minute. That's not what I do. Wait a minute. What did I do? I got it wrong.
You lift this one up and that one.
I got to lift this piece up. See that? I got to lift this piece up and put it here. And really, when you're at this stage, you can be like, oh, is that thick enough? Should it be thicker? Things you can use are old washcloths inside of here. You can use towels. You could use batting. You can use felt. Felt isn't a really good wicker, but it'll kind of cushion because you're going to want to use this more as a heat. And you make big heating pads like this. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stick a piece of felt in there. I'll use this nice big yellow to really give.
Is it going to like stick out like a tiny bit?
No, it's not. And I'm going to actually make it a little bit smaller than this.
Kind of cool if there's like an 1/8 of an inch.
Well, you're not going to even see it where it's going to go.
True. That's too true.
Too true. So here's what's the trick to this. So here's my like little tiny piece of felt. And this is just to give it more heat protection from whatever I set on it. My mug rug. Is I'm going to take the wrong side of my back of the striped fabric. So I'm going to put it here and I'm going to sandwich it between the 2 pieces. All right, believe it or not, the next thing we're going to do is actually sew around all the corners. So you're going to have to pin this. I don't care how good of a sewer you are. I have found it detrimental to pin. And in fact, I pin it in the middle first because I don't want these pieces to move at all. Okay. And it's kind of tough. It's thick. It's thick. And you know, and I want it thick because it's insulating my mug. And I'm kind of just rearranging my corners. I really want to get this tight in here. Once my kids learned to make these, they were making a bunch of them. Papa was making them for all the girls.
Well, not really all of them. He was mostly making them for this to keep those little 6-year-olds quiet for a bit.
Yeah, he's making them for them. He's so funny. He's so sweet. All right. Do you have a favorite thing to sew? Not really, just because I don't know. I don't have enough time to sew. I do like sewing clothes, but I don't ever get the time and the concentration to get it stitched up. I was making cloth diapers for a while, and I really liked those. To be honest, I love sewing very quick projects, if that makes sense. Oh, wait, that's not in a good spot. And it's not in a good spot because it's really thick, and I really want to make sure that this is. My mom's supposed to send me to a class on making the perfect t-shirt. So that is interesting. I would like to definitely take that class. All right, so, and I think I need one more here. And you can see I'm just stitching like this part here so that they stay. If that makes sense. All right, so when we stitch this, we can go right off the edge. And I'll show you. Get my big old soda out of the way.
Yeah, we remember how we would turn it out.
Yeah, you remember how we turned it out?
Yeah.
And see, the red's going to go with this, so it's going to be fine. The thicker it is, the more stitch width you want to have in your inseam, like from the distance from your, you know, this part here. And I need to make my stitch a little bit. All right. And yeah, I'm just running it off the seam. I'm doing this really thick. So it's not going to be as big as you think it was going to be. And it wouldn't be this thick if it wouldn't be, I wouldn't have this much of a inseam if I didn't have it as thick. And like, I'm just going to kind of readjust here and straighten out. Okay. So I'm sure you're just kind of like, wait a minute here. What do you got going on? So the first thing I need to do is take, these are so thick, I got to cut the corners. So see, I have that where the thread is. I'm just going to kind of cut a V, if that makes sense. I'm going to cut a V like that. I'm going to cut a V like that. Preschool had to go, didn't she? So I was going to say, you know, I've told myself this time, I'm like, you know, when I do Weight Watchers this time, my goal is to make it to lifetime within the 6 months. That is my personal goal. And see, like I did think, see, it still moved, but I got it. I got it under control. And sometimes you get it so thick you have to use a walking foot, but that's a whole nother class. You like it like we're a class that meets. All right, so I did cut my corners. Another way to do corners too, I'm sorry, I should have done it this way. I could have folded it over and just snipped it. That would have been so much easier, but I didn't think to do that. Oh, there's my soda again. I'm fixing to send it off. Sending it off. Okay. I'm going to take my 2 pins out. Are you ready? Okay, what I'm going to do now is if you start pulling this out, you'll see that there's the opening. You want to pull this inside out, right through that opening, right through the opening. So this sucker is thick. I probably did not need the felt, but I made it with the felt.
And it looks like a coaster. It's so small.
Yeah, it's definitely smaller. I shouldn't have used the felt because I lost a lot. But I mean, it's not. It's an oversized coaster. And again, my scissors. I've got to work those points out. And what's nice is it hides the rough edges, so it looks all like going. Trish, is that why you started quilting? Wait, why did I start quilting? I am not a good quilter. I've got some, but then like the whole piecing, and there's a really good guy that will quilt it, and my mom has a machine that does all the quilting, but I should show you some of my blankets. They're crazy. I just get kind of like frustrated with them. All right, so I shouldn't have done the flannel. I feel bad I did the flannel in there, but look how cute that is. It's just thicker than I would like it, but I mean, it's like super thick. It could totally do a mason jar full of soda. Look. So, I mean, it's a good size quilt. It's super thicker than I probably needed it to be because I always do that because it is so, like right here, I wish I could show you how thick that was. But, I mean, so my 6 inches turned out to be 5 inches. It ended up being like a 5 by 5 inch square. And I kind of have round corners instead of to the point. Like this one's very pointed. But see, look at that. Isn't that cute though? And I mean, it's super simple. And you can actually do these as ornaments, making little ones as ornaments and hang bells.
That would be adorable.
It would be adorable, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Well, and you know me, I got to finish off the corners. I got to finish off the corners, and I have to put a top stitch in it because that's what I do. And once the top stitch is in, you can't turn it back inside out. And so then it's kind of like, I can't figure out how they put it together. And you're like, this sounds so good. I don't know. That's kind of my thing. I'm like,
make it so they can't take it apart.
So there, I got my corners look better.
They look good.
They look good. They're going to be really thick here. So like I'm going to actually, like right here when you feel it, it's really thick here. So I really only need to get my needle to here. So I'm going to do my inseam again really in. I feel like I should iron it though.
Okay.
I'm not going to iron it.
Why not? If you said you should, it takes 10 seconds to iron.
Yeah, but I'm not feeling it. Okay, nice and thick on the inside. See, because I got it so in there, right there. Can you see that? You can't see
It
that.
bulges your foot up.
See how it bulges the foot up? But then I know.
Take the camera and show it.
Oh, hold on. There. But it keeps the ooh, this is gonna be tough. Ooh, got it. Got it, because it's gonna get stuck on there. Because I'll kind of get stuck, and then I twist.
It really looks like a picnic.
It does look like a picnic. It has that kind of hot, you know, almost like a hot tea kind of afternoon, like poetry tea time. That's what people do, poetry tea time. You don't know that because we don't do it.
Oh. What does it mean?
Well, they get together and they read poetry and have biscuits and eat tea. Okay, so there's.
It looks so much better with that inseam.
It does look better, and you can see I kind of went off a little bit. But look how, but see how nice that is? You can actually make them a little bit wider, like a bigger opening, and you could put like, you could have it actually like hold the bottom of a wine glass too. But I didn't make it like that. I made this one. And you could do stuff where you could do stitches here so it looks more sewn in, if that makes sense. Like I can make it look more quilted because I just would stitch here. But you don't have to do that. But look, even though you have all these openings, you don't have any like raw edges. I can't even begin to show you. There's no raw edges in there because of the way we did that. So there, you got 2 for 1. 2 for 1. I don't know what we're going to make next week. I still don't know. I could have made this next week.
We could do an apron next week.
We could do an apron. We could do like a really, would you like a fashion, a repurposing apron, or would you like a from scratch apron? I can do both pretty easy. Probably the from scratch. I can do a really basic from scratch apron.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Stephanie loves these sewing videos. Thank you so much. It's kind of fun. I'm actually getting stuff made, which is pretty incredible, isn't it? It's pretty incredible. All right. It's time to go. It's been an hour and a half. I love you guys, but
Aren't we going to do the coasters from 4-H?
we should do the coasters maybe in January or something. From scratch. Okay. We will do an apron next week from scratch. But it's going to be another one like, what do I have in my sewing room? I'm going to kind of guess this. But I'm going to show you how to make them. I do like the way this turned out. See, because look, it's like this green checkerboard with this red, and then the blue is on the back. Totally loving the colors. But now I got a mug.
It'd be fun to use the same colors to make an actual picnic rug.
Oh, well, I don't have enough.
Yeah.
I don't have enough to do that.
Unless there's like we found a blue sometime, and then we just did border edges around the center.
Actually, I'm not minding the felt so much anymore. But the nice part is like this is going to stay straight and not wrinkle because I put that interfacing in. Oh, I'm kind of liking it. I'm loving it. I should take a picture of this so when I'm done, I can put it in my, oh, hold on. When I'm done, I can put it in my, as my thumbnail. Heck yeah, that would be being,
That's a good thumbnail.
On top of the computer, and you can kind of see my like background.
Yeah. The only problem is the good thing is that Coke looks like tea or coffee, not.
But we all know it's soda because I'm back on the wagon. I didn't make it off the wagon very long. There you go. I made it like that. She is such a great helper, isn't she? I know. I just figured scrap was Puerto Rican for scratch. That's what I figured it was. I know. You said scrap. She said scrap, not scratch, but I know what she meant. So there you go. All right. So an apron next week is what we'll do. Maybe I'll clean up. Or maybe not.
Keyword maybe.
I'm trying to think what kind of, we should make an apron. I'll make you an apron based on a fat quarter. Because I think a fat quarter would be just enough space.
Well, let's see.
But then it runs into, here's the thing. If we got a little bulge, it works out better to have a, have it a little bit gathered. So we can talk about gathering next week.
So like almost tiny ruffles almost?
Kind of. It's just like where you gather. But I'm trying to think. This is my Merry Christmas one. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. So like we can literally like, because look. Now granted, if you're a little bigger, you'll want a bigger one. But see, it covers, to about that size. And we could do something like 1824. But and we could even turn it the other way around. So if you wanted something more long, I always need something to kind of come to the back end. If that makes sense. We could actually do it out of
a Christmas one.
Well, yeah, we could do a Christmas one. What I was thinking is we could do it out of 3 pieces of this, and then like a quarter yard of something else would be a good one to do.
It would be good. That Merry Christmas would go good.
That would actually go good with this one.
Yes.
Look at this. Wouldn't that look good? And we can put a pocket up front for the cell phone. We'll make a pocket for the cell phone.
The pocket should be like.
Well, we can do this, and then, what we'll do is we'll line it.
Yeah, like line, yes.
Yeah, we'll line it.
Use a fancy stitch and do it white.
I'll probably do it red because then I won't have to change my thread again. Because I'm so lazy. So lazy. So, yeah, we're going to do it out of this fabric. And we're going to do it a lot. So it's going to feel like the tablecloth again, if that makes sense. Oh, we could even do it as a tablecloth closing. Well, probably not because I won't have enough fabric. But it's going to have that tablecloth feel to it where we're going to actually come around the edge for the green. So it's not going to be super simple. But if you've made my sewing tutorials so far, you'll be ready for this. Oh, I so just want to be like, ugh. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, but I just want to be like.
Now rolling your scissors.
Look, I just want to cut that one. Look at that one. Look at my cowlick. And this one. I just want to be like, oh. But I'm not going to do that.
Use hair scissors if you can't stand it.
I know. All right, so we're going to do this. So I guess you'll probably need 18. What's 18? A third? A half yard. Like, it'll be like a half yard. And then this. That'll be really cute. That will go together really nice. That'll be a good use.
Next week, let's actually.
I might actually iron it so I'm ready for next year. What were we going to say?
I was going to say let's actually do it so that everybody can sew together. So that it's not like later they come back and watch it cause this.
I think, no, they come back and watch. Because if they were, it would be like a sense of silence, you know, in the sound of silence. Anyway. All right, you guys, we're going to take off because we've been jabbering our jaw for the last hour and 40 minutes because that's what I do. I enjoyed the fact that you guys came. I hope you liked this, and I can't wait to see some of your pillows that you make. Remember to tag me in them. I cannot wait to see them. Oh, look, see, this is why it's pinching. Remember I told you I'd caught it? Dang it, I caught it. That's what's not helping because otherwise it'd be, well, it probably wouldn't. But, and I could always make a smaller one, pocket pillow that fits within this one, and I could really scrunch it up really nice and tight and then put it on there so it's not putting stress on the outer one. But I hope you loved it. You got a little extra in there for sticking around like you did. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.